Afternoon, everyone. 2 briefings ago, I asked, where is Nancy Pelosi? Today, I can announce we have found Nancy Pelosi. As you can see, we found Nancy Pelosi going into her hair salon. We will be playing the video on loop for all of you to see during the duration of this introduction. Nancy Pelosi was not in the halls of Congress when I asked where she was. She was not working in good faith to make a deal for the American people. Nope, Nancy Pelosi was found in San Francisco at a hair salon where she was indoors, even though salons in California are not only open for outdoor service. Apparently, the rules do not apply to Speaker Nancy Pelosi. She wants small businesses to stay shut down, but only reopen for her convenience. Do as I say, not as I do, says Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi is holding up $1.3 trillion in relief for the American people while getting special access to the very kind of small businesses that this money would support, businesses like this hair salon. Before she skipped town to violate her state's health guidelines, Pelosi proposed a bill. It was called the HEROES Act, which contained no additional paycheck protection funding. This is funding that would help the very small business she has bizarrely accused of plotting against her. The president sees through Democrats' disregard for Americans in need, and he took action unilaterally in his own accord. He provided relief from evictions, he provided unemployment insurance, he paused student loan payments, and he cut the payroll tax, putting money in the American people's pockets. Congress also failed to authorize funding to provide children with free lunches for the 2020-2021 school year. And again, President Trump, with senior advisor Ivanka Trump, took action. And now USDA has extended a summer program which will ensure children continue to have access to free meals through the end of the year. Nancy Pelosi is demanding an apology from a single mother and small business owner who has received threats since Nancy Pelosi's comments against her salon. Salon owner Erica Kaya said this: "Since this happened, I've received nothing but hate text messages, death threats, saying they're going to burn down my hair salon. It's just sad that my community is pulling this, saying that I threw her under the bus when I did not. So that's hurtful. But yes, I think I'm pretty much done now." Nancy Pelosi, you ought to apologize to the American people. Or better yet, come back to Washington and get to work for hardworking Americans like this salon owner that you maligned and demanded an apology from. And with that, I'll take questions.
It is bigger than what I was first thinking. So big that the salon folks out in San Francisco decided to protest in front of her house with hanging curlers from the tree. Dozens of hairstylists and their supporters held a hair dryer protest outside of Nancy Pelosi's multi-million-dollar home in San Francisco.
Help me over here. I know. I'll hold it at the bottom. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You do?
There we go.
Dude, I have a onesie.
We'll just let it fly in the breeze. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. But the picture they won't see you. They're not going to want to use my
Isn't it great just to hear the laughter? I want you to hear some of their talking. They're not screaming and yelling. They're not throwing fire cocktails at her house. They're not spray painting her house. They're simply hanging hair dryers in an American flag and smiling and enjoying their life despite what Nancy has put them through. So just in case you missed her excuse of why, what she was doing, she, decided to blame the salon. If you haven't heard it, let's listen to it once again.
I take responsibility for trusting the word of a neighborhood salon that I've been to over the years many times, and that when they said, well, we're able to accommodate people one person at a time, and that we can set up that time, I trusted that. As it turns out, it was a setup. So I take responsibility for falling for a setup. And that's all I'm going to say on that.
Okay, so she said it's just a setup. They set me up for this whole thing. Well, I thought it was interesting Dan Scavino put this out.
Leaders take responsibility. So I said he's a weak leader. He doesn't take responsibility. He places blame on others. I think that that this salon owes me an apology for setting up. It was a setup. Leaders take responsibility.
So she's trying to blame President Trump for, he needs to take responsibility. And what does she do? She doesn't take responsibility for her own wrongdoing. She's caught in the act. I loved Graphics.com's putting out this new hairdo of Nancy Pelosi, Medusa.
Tonight we want to introduce you to the woman Nancy Pelosi is blaming. Erica Kayas owns the now famous salon in San Francisco, and she joins us tonight. Erica, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Nancy Pelosi claims on camera that you orchestrated a, quote, setup to entrap her into getting her hair blown out without a mask. Did you?
No, absolutely not.
How would you have done that? I mean, can you prove that this wasn't a diabolical setup designed to bring down the Speaker of the House by blow-drying her hair?
She had called the stylist or her assistant did and made the appointment. So
yes,
the appointment was already booked. So there's no way I could have set that up. And I've had a camera system in there for 5 years. I mean, I didn't go in there and turn cameras on as soon as she walked in to set her up. So that's absolutely false.
Now she's having lawyers get involved to dox this, poor salon owner who has been shut down for 6 months.
We haven't worked. We have no income. Since this happened, I have received nothing but hate, text messages, death threats. They're going to burn my hair salon down.
I think that that this salon owes me an apology.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty much done there. So,
In the meantime, Nancy Pelosi is overseeing a legislative negotiation in which salons like the one that she went to would not get any money.
We have bills to pay.
So upsetting, and it's devastating.
Pelosi is being decimated for having a beauty parlor opened when all others are closed.
Financially, it's broke us.
The timestamp on the video says 3:08 p.m. Less than 3 hours later, she appeared on MSNBC with perfectly coiffed hair, lecturing everyone else.
Those people there, no mask. What a bad example that was.
I mean, you wouldn't want to go into your freezer with that kind of ice cream, not looking your best.
At 3:08 p.m., she's in the salon getting her hair done. And then at 5:27 p.m., she's then lecturing hypocrisy about wearing masks.